Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Delusional's Arcade. So in this episode, we're going to check this out. This is a GAMMA 412-in-1. It's a vertical only board. I actually bought it because I wanted to see if it ran Galaga 88, so I can have it temporarily for my build that I'm doing, my gapless build. However, I found a big flaw. This thing actually does not run well on LCDs. This is my son's Vigolix. I was actually going to have it in here temporarily, but it turns out it's really horrible on VGA. It runs fine on CRT, and I'm going to show you the difference between the two in this video. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump right into it. Okay, you can see now that I do have the game running. Like I said, I wanted to kind of have like a cheap way of getting Galaga 88, just temporarily till I get the real board, because they are a little pricey. I do have the gapless board just fine. I finally found that, and it's for my gapless restoration. So I figured, why not? I can put it on my son's Vigolix, which has an LCD for now, and then when I need it, I'm just going to swap it over and I can have it boot into that one game. Okay, so we're here by the menu now, and it's a pretty nice menu actually. It isn't definitely an improvement over the 60-in-1, so I thought, until I started playing it. So it has like a little video here, which is really nice, for each game, and I selected a few just to show you I have some problematic games. So let's go into Ms. Pac-Man, I'll show you what I mean. All right, so what I do like about this board is that you can escape whenever you want. So what you do is you hold down the button for 5 seconds, a menu will come up which is pause, so you can either pause it and leave it like that, and then continue, or you can just exit the game. I'm gonna hit continue, obviously, to show you what I mean, but the 60-in-1 doesn't have that. You actually have to kill all your lives in order to go back to the menu. So let me go ahead and continue here. So this one has a little bit of audio issues. There's a little bit of lag. Right now I have it set to 4-way here. So this one's not too bad, but I can tell I own a real Ms. Pac-Man. And even the 60-in-1 is a little bit laggy, but this one just has sound issues. I can tell that it's not running at full speed here. All right, so now let me go ahead and exit it just by holding down the button here. I'm gonna go to exit. All right, so the next game here, Galaga, you'll see a huge difference. Now Galaga doesn't really take much to run, in my opinion. You have like more intense games like Galaga 88, which is made later, which has problems sometimes running on stuff. But this one, for whatever reason, I think it might be a resolution issue where it changes resolution. It just does not like it, and you can hear the slowdown in the music. So I'll play it now. So it looks normal, looks like it's running fine, but listen to the sounds real quick. See, it's a little bit laggy. So right now I'm just shooting them all up here. You can really tell when the guy comes to get you, like with the tractor beam. Sounds pretty awful. So this game is definitely running at slow speed because it's struggling to keep up. I guess the processor, what I'm thinking is that it'll run fine on the CRT, but I'm thinking with the processor trying to like convert it to VGA signal, it kind of takes away from the actual game itself. Let me kamikaze there. So you'll see what I mean in a second when he comes down right here. See, the game's running a little slower here. So it definitely has issues. Like I said, I think some of the processor speed is getting eaten up by this conversion to LCD. So I'm gonna go ahead and exit this. And then let me go to Frogger here. Frogger I think runs at full speed. There's some games that run fine. Mr. Do runs fine. Frogger I think runs okay too. Let me start a game here. Press the start button. So the sound on this sounds pretty fine. Looks like it's running at full speed. Yeah, so that one runs fine. So let me go ahead and exit the game here. Okay, exit. And let me go to the next one on the list here. So there's Donkey Kong. So you'll see it start to stutter here now. This one seems to run all right, actually. You know, like I said, there's some that run like weird because of resolution, but I think it has to do with the resolution because some games run smaller. You can see the text is a little smaller for the menu. Like when you exit, that's how I know it's running at different resolutions. So let me go ahead and exit this here. All right, I'm gonna go to exit. And then some other problematic games. Let me see ones that were really bad. Mr. Do's fine, I'm gonna skip that. Time Pilot actually was pretty bad, where the music at the beginning is all jacked up because it just can't handle it. Let's see, here we go. It's really a shame. I mean, looks like a good board, but listen up here. Yeah, so it's running really slow. Some sounds are missing. I'll try to kill myself here. Yeah, so it runs a lot worse than the 60-in-1. So, you know, I don't think it's a good upgrade to have. So let me try a couple more and then we'll head over to the cocktail machine where I'll stick it in there and we'll see how it runs. Bomb Jack I know runs horribly on this. It runs pretty horrible on the 60-in-1 too, but at least it's full speed. The sounds are all wrong. This one, the sounds seem to be fine. They're just a little slow because, again, the processing speed, it just can't handle it, trying to convert it to LCD. So when I say convert to LCD, there's actually an LCD input on the side that you can plug a VGA cable right into the board itself. Let's try starting a game here. You can see it's really struggling right now. Yeah, see, it's like slow motion there. Okay, so let me exit this game. This is one of my favorite games. I would love to have had this, you know, on the actual multi-board for, you know, my gap list. That would have been awesome. Now, right now I'm trying to exit, and I think because it's so slow, it's not behaving right. So it's very, very buggy at this point. Let me try it again. Is it working?
2 hours later.
Okay, I was finally able to exit the game. It was a little laggy. Let's see here. Galaga 88, I mean, it runs. You'll hear at the beginning the music is all kind of screwed up and the sound effects. The game seems to run at full speed, but it's just lagging a little bit with the sound. So we'll see if that corrects itself on the other one. Yeah, you could hear that. So it seems to run fine. All right, it runs fine now. So you'll hear it definitely when it does the challenging stage. You'll hear the music gets really slow. Okay, so here, listen to the music here. All right, let me go ahead and switch games here. Okay, Cuber, you think would run fine? Nope. I'm thinking the lower the resolution, the more it struggles here. Yeah, it's definitely struggling. Dodonpachi runs a little slow, ESP Rider runs a little slow, or S-Braid. Satan's Hollow runs a little slow, so most of these games really suffer from that. Gyrus is horrible. I'm going to do that now so you can see the difference. And I'll start with Gyrus on the other one, see if we could see any difference on the CRT. But this is the LCD that's running here. I have scanline generator on there. I tried removing the scanline generator. It has nothing to do with anything. It's definitely the processor on the board itself. Okay, so let me go ahead and plug this in the other machine and see how it behaves on the CRT versus the LCD that you see here. Okay, so I have it running here on my cocktail. The monitor's not adjusted, just keep that in mind. You're going to see stuff on the top and the bottom on some games. I just didn't feel like adjusting it for this board. It's actually set for my Tetris right now, which was in there before. But you know, it's just easy to swap out. So you'll hear the difference in sounds right now. Like Ms. Pac-Man sounds pretty good. I think my theory is that it's not using that processor to convert it to VGA. So it's giving its full CPU power to this game right now. So let me go ahead and exit this game. It's running perfectly on here on the CRT. I mean, again, you know, this would suit my purpose if I keep it. However, I don't know if I want to do that because I want to run it in the meantime on my son's machine and it doesn't work there. I want the best of both worlds. So here's Galaga here. This one you could see already when it starts, it actually boots up pretty quickly compared to the other one. The other one was kind of in slow motion there. And you're going to see the issue that I was talking about. This isn't kind of optimized for this monitor right now, but at this point, that has nothing to do with anything on the board. All right, so let's go ahead and start a game. Sounds like it's running full speed to me. So let me go ahead and see what happens when I get a tractor beam. All right, so let me exit the game here. That seems to run fine. So let's go to exit. And let's see the next game here. We're going to go to Frogger runs fine. Donkey Kong runs fine. Mr. Do as well. Gyrus, let's see. That was a troublesome one that we had there. Still not as good, but it runs pretty decent. There's no more stuttering going on. Big difference. Still not the same as the original, but still a lot better than it was on the LCD. All right, let me try Bomb Jack. Yeah, it's running full speed. So you can see like a lot of these games run fine here, but they just don't run fine on the LCD. And that to me is a deal breaker. Especially Galaga 88, I'll show you right now, which is the one I want. It runs fine here. No stuttering, no anything. Just with the VGA, it just runs terribly. All right, so let me go ahead and compare. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have games running on here, and I'm going to kind of throw back to the other one on the LCD to show you the difference and how it wasn't running properly on that. So let me go ahead. I'm going to go through a few games on this, and then we'll revisit at the end and kind of give you final thoughts on what I think of this board. Okay, so my final thoughts on this, it's not worth it. You know, I was gonna keep it just for the CRT, but again, I want to use it in this cab in the interim, and I can't. And it's literally 3 times more money than the current 60-in-1 that I have in there. So I'm gonna put the 60-in-1 back in there. We'll call it a day, and I think I'm just gonna go with the probably the one by High Score Saves is the JAMMA. I believe it's a Picade. That you actually just put it in there. It's JAMMA, and you put a Raspberry Pi in there, you put an SD card in there, and it has a really good very well emulated assortment of vertical games. So I may just get that one instead, just for a little bit more. So I feel like this $100 plus tax. It was about 120 when you get out the door and everything, and it really wasn't worth it. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and return it. And at this point, you know, I tried liking it. I really could use it for CRT, but again, not for just verticals. Okay guys, so I guess that about does it for this episode. If you guys like what you see, don't forget to subscribe. If you're already subscribed, I thank you. Don't forget to hit a thumbs up and a like, that really helps me out. And I guess, you know, you could always follow me on Twitter. I have stuff on there. And then of course I have stuff on Instagram as well. And if you guys have any suggestions or comments or questions, feel free to leave it in the comments. I do try to answer all of them as I can. And that's it. So thanks again for subscribing and watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.